What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the latest episode of Nader's Cozy Coffee Hours. Now, before we get into it, I just want to do a quick little disclaimer. This video is very old and maybe a little outdated. Some of my anime opinions have changed. I have finished all of JoJo's and yada yada yada. But it's been sitting on my desktop for a while. Erik worked very hard editing it, and I really wanted to put it out, so I just wanted to say that before. I don't live at Fry anymore, so this is kind of a last glimpse at our life at Fry since moving out. I hope everybody's doing good in the pandemic. It kind of sucks being cooped up like this, but expect more videos in the future, maybe some more live streams. I'm really looking forward to get back into it. I just reduced my work hours because I'm very stressed, and I really want to start doing this kind of stuff a lot more. So I hope you enjoy, and thanks for watching.
Welcome one, welcome all to a very special edition of Nader's Cozy Coffee Hours. I am, of course, your host, Nate, and you may have noticed that we're in a different location than usual for this one, and that's because I have my boy Erik, who's sitting right over there.
Hello.
You can't see him. He's actually helping me out with the quality of my videos, editing and camera work, and you may notice the microphone as well, so hopefully the new quality update is very good for you guys. So today I want to talk about something very close to my heart, something I take very, very seriously, anime. Now, I'm not the largest anime fan out there. I know I'm going to be yelled at by the hardcore fans for my tastes because I'm a bit of a normie. But, you know, I still enjoy the quality of it, and I thought it'd be something fun to talk about. I'm going to bring some guys in and see what they think about anime as well, and we're just going to have some fun with this episode. Some good old-fashioned Japanese fun. So, if you'd like to join me, let's continue. So I thought I'd start out with something that I'm watching right now. The main thing I'm watching right now, which is also climbing to be one of my favorites, is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And oh boy, if this show just doesn't... It just works for me, man. Like, something about it, the way the characters, the design, the animation is so goofy. Very unique show. So I have a very large recency bias toward it. It's just sort of, it's pretty much taking up all my time right now. I'm a little bit nervous to catch up with it because I don't want it to stop, because I know the last season just ended a couple months ago and I'll have to wait. But JoJo's, very phenomenal show. I love Dio. I love all the JoJo's except maybe Jonathan's a bit boring. Maybe, I don't know if that's a hot take. I don't know how people feel about Jonathan Joestar, but I think Joseph might be my favorite, and Dio. Dio is the greatest thing to ever happen to this planet. So I think, I don't want to say my favorite anime of all time, but the one anime that, I think there's an anime for everybody that gets them into it, because I was one of those guys that was like, why would I ever watch anime? Like, I liked Dragon Ball Z, and I didn't want to watch anything else. So I think the one that got me to actually appreciate it a little bit more and be more willing to get into it was Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Phenomenal show. I really enjoy just all the characters. There's not really one character I can complain about. It's just it's a well-made show. It's got its tropes and its funny moments, but I think the emotion is handled very well. I thoroughly enjoy the plot. There's not that sort of like, this character is the most powerful villain of all time, and then like an arc later there's another guy who's even stronger, so none of that even mattered. It power scales very well. I think the narrative wraps up very well. It's a very tightly woven story. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood I always have to give big ups to, big props, because it pushed me to start enjoying anime more as a whole. Another one like that, I think directly after watching Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, I watched Cowboy Bebop, which, if you can see the poster behind me and the mug I'm drinking, you can tell I probably enjoy it. Because, you know, Spike is the most aesthetic motherfucker of all time. He's got the flow, he's smoking cigs, he can beat people's ass, he listens to jazz music while he beats people's ass. It just, everything works out in that show. It's very short, like I want to say 32 episodes, maybe a little bit longer, somewhere in that range. Very short, but just perfect watch. It's like, everybody, if you ask them what one of their favorite animes is, or one of the greatest of all time animes is, they're going to answer Cowboy Bebop. It's sort of like a Breaking Bad in that regard, not in terms of story content or in terms of any similarities, but in terms of, if you ask somebody if it's a good show, they're 99.9% of the time going to say it's one of the best shows for its respective genre. Alright, another one that is one of my current recent favorites is My Hero Academia, and I feel like I've seen it getting flack on Twitter and other social media for being like the normie's favorite anime, but you know, I love Deku. I love Deku. He's a cute little guy. Most of the time, like, I hate anime, not most of the time, but there's that sort of type of anime protagonist where they're like a child who's an idiot and goofy, but they can also beat the shit out of everybody. So it's like they're really strong. You kind of have to deal with it. The Naruto complex, if you will. The Goku complex. I feel like Deku's that type of protagonist, but without all the annoying aspects. I really like watching him do stuff, fight things, punch them. I think he's a good character. He's a good character in a trope that is full of bad characters like Naruto and Sasuke, which just it makes me happy. I like Deku. He's a good kid. He's a good boy. Sip. I love all the quirks. They're very unique. Like, they all have neat powers, which is that's something that I've noticed. Like, when I watch animes, I really like neat, like, unique powers. Like JoJo's is to go back to it. I'm never gonna shut the fuck up about JoJo, so get used to it. Like, I've never really been into animes that are more like realistic dramas about characters because I don't know. I just not my jam, not my jelly, not my spread. Go watch House if you want drama. Go watch a Netflix original series about a girl who's getting bullied. One of the several. If you want some drama. I mean, there's probably some really good anime dramas out there, but I'm an ignorant normie American, and I refuse to watch any. Naruto fucks me up because I've seen all of it, and I'm pretty sure I hate it. One of the worst atrocities to occur on this planet. But I still have an Itachi poster on my wall, so I don't know what that says about me. Most of the main characters are awful. Like, the titular character, Naruto, is, in my opinion, the worst character in the show. His whole shtick is like, work hard, and like, no matter what your background is, no matter where you come from, like, you can make it, you can be successful. But the problem with that is, his father was the 4th Hokage, and he has a demon fox inside of him that gives him more chakra than the rest of the world combined. So I don't think that's a very accurate theme to put in your show. He earns the sage mode. That's the only thing I think he actually earns. The rest is just him having massive chakra reserves and being able to out-meme his opponents. I don't really like Sasuke, but Sasuke is leagues better than Naruto. Like, Kakashi is so much better than Naruto. I would rather watch Kakashi and Itachi filler than the main plot of Naruto. Also, it's 700 episodes. Who in their right mind wants to watch... Me, apparently. Who in their right mind wants to watch 700 episodes of a kid scream and believe it? What's the... Dada bio? Something dumb. All the time in not earning any of the things he's given in life. I don't get it. Fuck that show. It's awful, and I hate it. But I also really like Itachi, so there's that. I'm a hypocrite. Alright. So I mentioned Dragon Ball Z at the very beginning of this episode, and I thought I'd just talk about it a little bit more in depth, because you have to respect Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. Especially Dragon Ball itself is just a very, very good show. It is not the same kind of show as Dragon Ball Z and later on Dragon Ball Super. Let's just forget about Dragon Ball GT. That didn't happen. It's not canon. But Dragon Ball Z, it's just, I think most people, even if they don't watch anime, know who Goku is. I think it was one of the shows, like, don't quote me on this, I'm not a residential anime expert, but I think it was one of the shows that really sort of brought anime over to the United States, kind of, like, culturally, or at least, like, in a more broad manner. And Dragon Ball Z, I think at its high points, is a phenomenal show, like, especially the Frieza saga, ignoring the screaming for 20 episodes kind of things that go on there. Peak Dragon Ball Z, peak fighting, punch, power, Kamehameha, explosion anime. And if you haven't seen it, Dragon Ball Z Abridged is... If you've seen the original series, I think Dragon Ball Z Abridged takes that and pushes it to a higher plane of existence. You have to watch the original series to understand the references and the jokes they're making, but once you do, Dragon Ball Z Abridged takes the best parts of it, condenses it down, and makes it hilarious. But they still give the emotional moments room to breathe. It's an OG. It is an OG. It's one of those OGs, like Naruto is an OG for better or for worse. Dragon Ball Z, One Piece. There's a sneak preview at our next segment, but it's one of the OGs. You gotta give ups to Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. Kamehameha. So for our next little segment here, I thought it'd be fun, me and Eric thought it would be fun, rather, to have some of the guys in our house that we live in, the Fry House, come in and sort of talk about their favorite animes, or what they think about anime. I'd say some of the house likes anime just as much as I do. I don't know if anybody exceeds me, but they might. And some of them are a little bit less well-versed in anime, but, you know, they still enjoy it, so I thought it'd be fun to have some of them on. Now first, we have Erik, the man, the myth, the legend, behind the camera and behind the microphone, and he's going to come on and talk about One Piece.
How's it going, everyone? Yeah, One Piece. I know there's a lot of stigma about it, I guess. There is like over 1,000 episodes or something like that.
I think last time I looked at Crunchyroll, it was pushing 900 something.
Yeah, and like that is like a pretty daunting number to look at. Like I started it. Oh my god. I'm a senior now in college, and I probably started it midway through my freshman year. Made a couple hundred episodes in, maybe. I don't think I'll ever finish One Piece. It's just not something I plan on doing. Once you've seen a couple hundred episodes, you kind of can break it down and, you know, oh, there's a big high-ranking pirate out there. He's causing trouble. Luffy and the boys and the gals are all going to come out there and, you know, whoop some ass one way or another. Zoro's going to get lost somewhere. Sanji's going to be pawning after some girl, and Luffy's going to be eating food. I will say, though, like, to start off the show, I really did enjoy it. I think the first couple seasons are really good. The animation is kind of dated, you know, because it's old. It's been around for however many years. So the animation isn't, like, outstanding as, you know, compared to what you'd see nowadays.
It does have its own style.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
it really does.
The characters, like, we were playing Jump Force. Like,
yeah.
The characters in One Piece, like, I can just look at them and go, that guy's from One Piece.
Yeah, I guess that is kind of like a cool thing about One Piece is the really powerful guys and the really just, like, intimidating guys. They all have this big stature, white beard, black beard. Like, those guys are just, like, huge people, and you're just like, I don't know, it's kind of intimidating, I guess, or you'd think it would be intimidating to Luffy, but he doesn't really seem to care that much. But yeah, I really think like the first couple seasons are really good, definitely worth a watch. Just very, I don't know, kind of wholesome in some way, how you kind of watch Luffy put together the entire crew. They all kind of form some kind of bond one way or another. They do a really good job with the emotion, really good job with the animation, I thought. I think the soundtrack is really good. Kind of like, not like Cowboy Bebop, but I think like for the theme of the show, they do a really good job of
style.
Yeah, it
That's
really
always
is.
like stylistic animation and stylistic soundtracks are one of my two big boy aspects and liking an anime.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, like with Cowboy Bebop, you got that jazzy, like cool flowing kind of music. With One Piece, you kind of have these big loud tracks with like horns and drums, and you just kind of like very piratey, I guess you'd say. Obviously, it's a show about pirates, and it's just like you really feel like, yeah, like these pirates are like here, like they're here to do something amazing.
Would you put it in your top three? Let's do a quick little top two anime, and then maybe one you hate.
Yeah,
something like that.
I'd say My Hero is up there. I might put One Piece up there. Ace Attorney.
Ace Attorney's
Nick Phoenix, Ace Attorney.
I blanked on that one. That's great.
Oh, that's a great show. Just it's a good blend of like goofy as well as like kind of smart as well. Like dramatic scenes. Soundtrack's pretty good on that one, I think, and just like the character, it's different. Like, I don't know. You have like the impactful scenes of like, you know, he yells objection, and like, you know, that blast of wind hits someone in the face, and it's like this dude doesn't have powers, but just like the force of his will is like pushing people around and like throwing people back. That's a really good one. I've watched that like twice now. Obviously very short, but I do enjoy that, watching that. Oh, Hunter X. We've completely skipped over Hunter X. You're gonna have to talk about that. That's been really fun, just watching Gon develop. Like, that's like one of the shows where it's just really enjoyable to watch the main character develop as a, I guess, person and as like a hero.
Gon is like a better, I don't want to say a better Goku, but he's another of the Goku types that I don't hate. Like, he's kind of an idiot, but he's not like a complete oblivious moron.
He's like he's more smarter on like the tactical side of things.
Clean as hell.
Yeah, and like watching those two come together as like friends, like, I don't know. I guess I didn't really like think it would be anything that like would last or like really matter, but you just kind of, you get into that friendship and you're like, wow, like these guys are like best friends, like they're the homies, and you really like, there's scenes where like Kilo was like, I gotta leave you, going, like I gotta, you know, abandon you now, and you're just like, please God, no.
I wasn't iffy on it. I liked it, but I think it really like hit for me with the Chimera Ant arc.
Yeah.
Like it just switched up what it was, not what it was about, but like just took a huge like right turn in direction, and
Yeah.
that was like, all right, I can binge this the hell out now.
It's kind of like almost gruesome, I guess you'd say. Like it's a lot more blood and guts and stuff like that. Yeah.
Let's talk about fucking Mob Psycho 100, dude. Oh my god. That, like, if you want to talk about good animation, like, One Punch Man Season 1 animation was one of my, like, favorite shows. Like, I love One Punch Man, but Mob Psycho, I, like, watched, like, the first 2 episodes, and I was like, holy shit, this is, like, I think I preferred Mob Psycho to One Punch Man at this point.
It's kind of funny, like, I feel like Mob kind of has a very similar face structure to Psycho.
Mm-hmm. Like, that's how, I think the guy who writes them is called Mob. I think, like, you're not, yeah, I think he goes by either, I think One, like, is his name. And, like, his art style, because he makes webcomics of his shows. I don't know if he did it for Mob Psycho, but he does, like, a webcomic, which is him drawing, and he can't really draw very well. So they're really fun. Like, I've read a little bit of the webcomic forward from the show. And then it's turned into manga from there, and then it's turned into an anime. And the webcomic, I love it how they keep some of the facial designs and stuff from his shitty art style, which just works so well for the goofy kind of connotation he's going with those.
Yeah. Just like the whole like story, like he's a very easy character to root for. Kind of just like absent-mindedly, just kind of going with the flow of whatever like everyone else is telling him to do. So like, it's just like funny that like his boss is able to fool him for such a long
Reagan
period of time.
is so fucking funny.
Yeah.
I love it when he just like, spoiler alert, he goes to that complex full of like people that have powers, and then he just like bullshits his way through beating all of them.
Yeah.
It is so.
Oh, that's probably like one of the most upset I've ever been about a show like being done.
So next I want to talk about Pokemon.
That's not anime.
Listen here! Alright, now here to talk about our next anime topic and or show. We have Owen Fedorka. Why don't you come take a little seat next to me? Now, the interesting thing about Owen is he would actually... So, the funny thing about Owen is, like, I've been watching anime for it's about, like, freshman year, mainly. And he would always kind of clown me for watching anime. He'd always kind of talk a little bit of that good shit. And I don't mind, of course. Anime is kind of funny to watch, but... There was one show that kind of turned the tides for Owen and made him sort of an anime fan, and that show is Goblin Slayer. So why don't you, what brought you in? What makes you enjoy Goblin Slayer so much?
Well, to answer that question, I might have to go into a little bit of background. See, growing up, you know, I didn't have cable when I was a young boy, so I never got to enjoy any of those, Dragon Ball, Naruto type shows, right? But you know, my ignorance kind of got the best of me, and, you know, you'd always hear memes, and you'd see a few things here and there, be like, oh, you know, it's just some anime, whatever. And then I saw Goblin Slayer, let me tell you. like, let me tell you.
What specifically did you see in Goblin Slayer?
Well, I'll tell you what I saw, boys. I saw some beautiful ladies. Titties. I won't lie. It kind of sparked an interest, I guess.
So, like, I enjoy Goblin Slayer because it's sort of like a D&D type. It's very, like, if you like D&D, there's a lot of aspects in the show that you can appreciate even more. Like, fight scenes are fun and all that, but he's joined the waifu war. So, personally, I'm a guild girl kind of a guy. I think guild girl is best girl, but,
Well, alright. Here's my philosophy, okay? If you ain't thinking cowgirl, you thinking wrong. Let me tell you why. Cowgirl is the most loyal anime babe that I've seen. Let me tell you. She sticks by Goblin Slayer through thick and thin. And we all know how kind of straightforward and thinking that Goblin Slayer is. You know, he's got to kill goblins. That's my only mission. But through the thick and thin, this honey, she's just looking cute as hell, doing her thing. And it's honestly inspiring. I will say that. The scene where Goblin Slayer's like walking out of his like little house or whatever, and she comes to the little balcony, and she just flops her fucking titties on the railing. And I said, this is my show. I can't lie. What can I say?
For context, if you don't know anything about Goblin Slayer, it's very titular. Both in that it's the title Goblin Slayer tells you it's a guy killing goblins, but there's also a lot of titties, so it's a titular show.
Yes,
it's very titillating.
Titillating.
Thank
Very
you, Neb.
titillating. But yeah,
So like, you haven't seen a lot of other animes, but what of the ones you've seen, what are the ones you really like, and what's one that you think is just awful? Like that's
okay. Well, I've seen like subbed and dubbed versions of Naruto, and I'm gonna like be honest, it's not.
oh dude, I shit on it for like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
earlier, don't worry
it's
about
it's really like not all that good. But what I will say is when you showed me Cowboy Bebop, like that straight up like actually changed like the way I view like cartoons and like anime or just anything.
Anime
of the
is
sort.
not cartoons.
or just like any like you know what I'm saying, like
Yeah, I
any just
know.
fucking animated show, right? So like the music, the visuals, like everything about it was just dope. Like it was such a good fucking show. And then yeah, it was like Goblin Slayer. Oh, and then of course watching JoJo, like that one scene where they're like playing the poker game and they're like doing the whole mind game thing. Like that was like really cool.
I gotta show you the Let's Go Eat Some Italian Food episode. That I think that's my favorite episode.
It's definitely kind of more the stereotypical like ones that like I've been getting into, but like it's you know it's there for a reason.
Yeah, it's like
super
you
good.
gotta establish the baseline. Everybody will always kind of like give you shit. They're like, oh,
yeah.
your favorite anime is Cowboy Bebop. You ever watch? You have to be able to understand the
Yeah.
genre a little bit, get into those shows, then like you can find what you like and go a little deeper
Oh, yeah.
into that subgenre.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Like I'm such a virgin to this fucking to anime. Like I really don't like know that much.
This
but,
man's been looking at cowgirl body pillows though.
like, well, let me tell you, them cowgirl body pillows. That bitch sitting right next. Oh my god. Shit. On my ooh-oos.
Well, I appreciate you coming on here,
Yes,
Owen. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nate, and thank you for having me.
Perfect. That was a great segment right there.
Quality content.
So yeah, a bit of an abrupt ending there. We did have some plans to do a little bit more, but we realized it was running along. So this is the outro. You can probably tell the difference between me editing and Erik editing. I just record things and slap it in. So hopefully that's not too big of a deal, but hope you enjoyed the video. There will be very much more to come soon, and thank you for watching. Hee hee.